Hi, Rosanna. Festivals. I think I've always liked going to festivals, and as a punter, I've been to. My favourite one was a festival called Roskilde in Denmark, and it's like it's a massive rock festival, and I saw some of my sort of like the best gigs as a teenager were there, and like such a White Stripes and all sorts of bands. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't really go to many when I was a kid. It was too expensive, and I wasn't allowed. But yeah, they were a huge part of our life this year.
Did what, like 45 of them or whatever?
Yeah, we did 45 festivals this summer, and you know, towards the end of that, I was ready to never go to a festival ever again. But you know,
Barney likes festivals so much that we played 45, and he still chose to go to some on our weekends.
There you go. Yeah,
that's true. And then, but yeah, it's interesting since we've been, you know, doing more sort of regular organised touring and rehearsing and recording and stuff. I can't wait to get back out and do it again. I think we've got quite a lot coming this year as well. So yeah, bring it on.
Good question. Why do relationships capture the public's imagination? I guess primarily because everyone's sort of been through a breakup at some point, and like you say, I'd been going through a breakup when we were writing this record, and I don't know, I think honesty is something that really connects with people, and people like hearing about stuff they've been through, and they like knowing that they're not the only people to have gone through it. And I don't know, I always listened to some of my favourite records when I was growing up were breakup records, and I think it's still a great subject for an album. And clearly, as you say, Adele's success shows that people like hearing about breakups. But ultimately, it's just because it's a very personal thing, and I think people can relate to that.
Hi, Letitia. That's a very interesting question. I imagine the answer is probably less interesting than the question is. It's a phenomenal privilege to be able to travel the world and to see the things we see together. But when we come home, it's almost as if someone paused it in London, and you come back and things are actually surprisingly the same. I don't know. It's I don't feel particularly different after everything that's happened. I feel like I've experienced more.
It's kind of like, it's like you lead, I think we're at the stage...
You lead like a double life.
Yeah, you lead like a double life, because it's not sort of like we're sort of global megastars where everywhere we go we're sort of like hounded and chased and stuff. So it's sort of, whenever you're on tour, you sort of feel like you're living a dream, and then when you come off it, it's hard to imagine that it was all happening, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you feel that people treat you differently, you know, people that you used to know, do you get treated any differently or not?
Well, there's more of them. There's more people than
people do come out of the woodwork, actually,
they do.
Don't they?
Yeah, definitely do. That's not a bad thing. People you haven't
it's nice, actually.
spoken to in a while. Yeah, it's good.
I suppose it's a way of people finding you again, isn't it?
Yeah, the rest of the people that you see 99% of the time, just when you come home, just try to make sure you're still as down to earth as you were before then. So it's very humbling experience, I think.
How's it sound with the train?
We'll get a wild track. We'll get a shot of where we are. There's nothing we can do.
So how do you feel about your global success? You unleash a train track in your studio.
The train features in everything that is done in here. Like, it's inescapable.
It does. We've done quite a few things in here, and it's on everything. Really. It's even on albums people have made. It's sort of. Yeah. Hi, Tiago. I don't really think that we're as much spokesmen for our generation, I suppose, as we are men of our generation. I think we just we sing about what we know, and like I said before, I think sort of honesty and those sort of things, they really sort of come through. And if you sing about what you know and what you sort of care about, then people believe you and people find it easier to relate to you. And obviously, we're sort of in our sort of mid-20s now, and I think lots of things are changing and sorts of things to think about. And so really just singing about sort of getting older and, I don't know, the fear of it, and and all that sort of stuff sort of came quite naturally, and will probably feature on the next album too. So I don't really think about other people when I'm writing lyrics. I'm thinking about myself, but as it happens, there are millions of people out there going through a similar thing. So I suppose that's sort of how that comes about. Yeah, I think when we come to Brazil, by then we'll definitely be playing songs off the new record, but they're not going to be, old songs won't be making way for them. So we're still going to be playing lots of we're still, if you've got a favourite Vaccine song, we're going to be playing it. We'll still be playing the first record, but I guess we'll be playing for a bit longer than we have been playing. Yeah, I imagine there'll be probably 4 or 5 new ones in the set by then. I imagine maybe 3 or 4.
We've already been playing a couple of new ones on our last few tours and stuff, and I think we're going to add to that.
And are you guys excited?
Yeah,
very.
Can't wait. We obviously we had to cancel coming to Brazil last year because of my throat. We're sort of all really upset about that. So obviously, I mean, most of us have never been there. That's very exciting. Honestly, can't wait. Hello, we are the Vaccines, and we're coming to Brazil in April. We're going to be in São Paulo on the 18th and Rio on the 19th, rather, and we can't wait. See you then.